Gonna bring that.
Hey, you want USO?
Sure on the hole, a family. Oh, need a mother on sweet. Oh, let's smash on the garden. That's a mean.
Alright, I'm here. Hello. For those that have maybe had game audio on only for the past half an hour. I'm here now. I'm Lori. I'll be commentating the rest of this race. I unfortunately wasn't home for the start of it, but I am now, so let's not dwindle on the past too much. Getting in here, again, I've been busy getting home, so I've not been able to see too much of the race, but it looks like Neo does have a little bit of a lead here. And I believe Neo might have the better PB in this category. I'll double check that, but that is not the right command. Yeah, so they're both about to head to Cloud. Due to the way that warp paintings work in this layout, based on like the kingdoms you choose, in Darker Side you want to go to Wooded before Lake, just so that lines up a little better. That's a thing in a lot of categories that will do post-game stuff, is you'll want to do that. So, but any percent, obviously the most popular of the categories, this doesn't happen, so it's kind of weird. But it makes a lot of sense, to be fair. And yeah, I see Neo has a 1852, and I cannot find Zinpars on this. Yeah, I don't even see Zinpars on, so maybe I'm just bad at looking. I see Zinpars 9 months ago on Digital 1.0 frog skip boards. So something tells me that there's an out-of-date something there. Neo, done with their fight, seems like pretty well. Zinpars in the middle of it, doing pretty good. Where are these two? Yeah, these two are in losers quarterfinals right now. The winner of this race is going to be going up against the winner of Kerbis and Spike. So, which is happening on Saturday, apparently. So, yeah, these two are already pretty far in the tournament, it looks like. This is a tournament I wanted to keep better track of, but unfortunately didn't get to happen. We'll see. Zinpars is done with the Bowser fight. Gonna be joining Neo in Lost shortly. Neo missing the checkpoint, getting it though. You do want that checkpoint. That checkpoint is a great warp point because Lost being a small island, not only is that the top of the island, but it's also the center of it. So and yeah, like we're seeing in chat, it depends on the category whether 1.0 or 1.2 is better. 1.2 is, in this category, usually preferred because not only is the major version of this category a glitch not allowed that is patched in 1.2, but also the use of hint arts to gain coins much quicker than you can on 1.0. Hello.
Hello.
Okay. Hold up, let me get the name up here because I don't think it is, but I have someone with me now.
Yes, you're right. Yes,
There we go.
yeah.
All good now. Neo taking that death. That death, I think, is actually a good thing in... Yeah, that's a good thing in Darker, because you want to go up to the top of the island right after. And Neo... Yeah, Neo's now going to be leaving Lost with the 12 moons. Zinpars en route to do the same.
So, okay. Neo's a bit in front of...
Yeah, Neo's a little bit ahead right now. Which... This is something that Zinpars actually predicted would be happening, is that Zinpars would be... But Neo's entering Metro now. Zinpars just needs to get that last moon, though, so... Zinpars isn't doing too bad. Doing pretty good within the first half an hour or so. We've still got a very long way to go. Zinpar's doing this strat here, which Neo skipped out on. That looks good? Yeah! There we go. That is a really difficult little warp there, throwing Cappy at Glidon. Because the normal way to get that moon is actually just like bringing a tropical Wiggler all the way over there, and you don't want to have to do that. So that's the alternative, but it's very difficult. For those that watched the games done quick run, you might have seen Bailey struggle with that for a little bit. Alright, Neo getting through Town Hall. Zinpar's just at the beginning of Night Metro. We'll see how Wiggler goes. You never want to see 3 cycle, but every now and then it happens even to like really good play, so we'll see what goes on. Zinpar's struggling a little bit there to actually get moving, but is in the Town Hall now. Alright, Neo. Ooh, this is fine. Alright, yeah, nope. Neo's good for the 2 cycle. Okay, so yeah, Neo's about a Mecha Wiggler ahead, which Not 100% sure exactly how much that is because, again, if cycles happen, usually it doesn't happen, but every now and then you see it. And in a race where you might be a little bit nervous, I can imagine it happening more often than not. He is going to be planting seeds for later. Seeds take a very long amount of time to grow. The exact number is losing me, but it's good setup to plant them like in your first visit to a kingdom and then revisit later and grab them. Because it's basically just the time of grabbing the seed, which in some cases isn't very long.
So,
All right.
Yay!
Neo starting on some of the musicians.
so now he's planting the seeds.
Yeah. It's better to do that one there, because the first one you take up to a pot near where you want to go in the bench friends area, and then that one you can take right next to the basis, which is your next step. So you can kind of combine it. Zinpars doing some funny stuff with the little poles on the ground. Starting on musicians now. A lot of really clean cap return jumps here to get the height needed to grab that.
Oh. Yeah.
You're making cross to the trumpets here. That's one of those metro jumps that's just always kind of scary.
Yes. So he has his last musician and yeah. Now he's able to go down.
So Sewers, right now Neo has 14 moons, which there are 3 you can get before the next multi-moon in the story, so once all of those are grabbed, it'll be enough to leave the kingdom for now. Which, once you get into post-game stuff and you break the moon rocks and there are tons more moons all over the place, it becomes a lot easier to route in, like, pre-game moons in between post-game moons, because, again, there's just gonna be moons, like, on every single, like, tile, basically, so...
Yes, and the post-game moons are... most of them are much easier than the normal moons.
Yeah, that too.
Or much more obvious, I think.
Because it's either like a sub-area pipe that you can see clear as day, or it's just like standing up there, or it's just like playing a mini-game a second time.
Or it's just a moon that's in front of you.
Yeah. Like one of the rooms in Snow I'm thinking of. Snow is interesting because you route that one based on like which rooms you plan to revisit and which ones you don't plan to revisit. And in one of the revisits, there's a moon that's literally just sitting in your face.
Yeah, so I think in Lost is a ground pound directly to the Odyssey, I think.
Oh, yeah, that one too. Yeah, so that's why, despite having a ton of, having to get 500 moons to unlock the level that ends this category, you actually see surprisingly low amount of moons in your first visit. Zinpars being a bit too far to the side to get on top of this platform, making it up though. Fortunately didn't fall, just fell back onto the platform that he jumped from. Zinpars struggling with the piranha plants. Okay, we're not dying.
Oh.
That was kind of close there.
No. Okay, he collects the moon. It would be funny if he walks into the poison.
Well, I think the poison fully clears up once you collect the moon. Yeah.
And your health is gonna reset to 3.
Yeah. So, as funny as it would be.
Neo is on the
You're
way
getting
to
hit.
the festival.
This part can be kind of scary.
Yes. But
I think he's good. Yeah. That's good. Once you get under DK, you have no risk of getting hit, really.
no way.
But that last room is kind of tricky, because playing Donkey Kong with the more modern physics, not as easy as it shapes up to be.
Yeah.
I mean, if you take it slow, possibly, but we're here to, like, you can dash in these in these 2D sections, so they're doing that the whole time.
Yes. Neo is finishing the 2D section and Zinpars is starting it.
Yeah.
And now Neo can...
Oh, right. Neo's gonna start the taxi quest.
Oh, yes.
So this little sand guy wants to travel around the world. So you have to talk to him in certain kingdoms. It's like, depending on which one you previously talked to him in order to...
Is there anyone who got it, what you have to do in the first playthrough? I don't even know. It was
Yeah.
pretty random when I got them, and
It's kind of a tricky one to figure out what's actually happening in there, but if you know what's happening with that guy, you can follow him to every kingdom. And it's basically just a free moon in every kingdom for talking to an NPC, which...
But the kingdom where I realized what to do was the last kingdom he was. So I didn't
Zinpars is going to be good there. Took damage, kind of in a scary place, but managed to just bolt to under DK, and going to be taking the multi-moon.
Don't to die under DK.
Yeah, you really don't want to die in the festival, because it is long.
And Neo's officially in snow.
Yeah. So, we're going to jump right into the village here. No Captain Toad yet in this route.
No.
But there is Hint Art. Hint Art is just more easy ways to get easy moons during Kingdom revisits. That's really the thing about Darker Side and its route, is that some of the moons you get are actually fairly easy, just based on the fact that you're setting things up from earlier in the game.
Yes. And hint arts are so in the game are moons that are easy to get if you know where they are. So
yeah, if you like know the location, which if these people these Ratu don't have all of them committed to memory, they probably have notes, at least.
I don't think they have notes for that because they're running so often. I think they have all moons in their brain.
Possibly, I mean... There's a lot of downtime when you're collecting the moon here.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
maybe,
and
I don't know, scroll down a little bit or just read what you have on a notepad. In fact, I think
Yes.
actually what the Odyssey community does is use PowerPoints.
Yeah, but to scroll or something like that, in these cutscenes you could do that, but I don't think so because they're running so often. And
Well, that's just one thing, I guess, is you'll get used to...
yes, it's and if you're doing something so often, you memorize it. And
Yeah. It's not only normal memory, it's muscle memory at that point. This game likes to kind of, you know, throw muscle memory to the wind sometimes.
yes,
Because the movement is very free-flowing.
yes,
And I didn't
and,
mention it, but Neo nailed the snow clip.
yes, first try, I think.
It was first try, yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently, from what I've heard, it is much easier to do down at the bottom than it is from the top that you might see in, say, a high-level world peace run. But in this route, it allows you, in this darker side route, it allows you to just go to the bottom one.
And Zinpars is entering the room and yeah. Neo, the
Down
I
bowl.
don't know what's the official name for that.
This is, I don't remember the enemies' names, but this is the bound bowl.
I remember the names, but not the English ones. Yes. The rolling jumping one. Yeah, but that's the case of the speed one. Most speed ones are about memorize your route and learning by doing every time.
Yep, absolutely. Zinpars, second try clip there. Landing right in the loading zone, though.
Second try is also very good.
Yeah.
We had some ones where they tried and tried. So
But now Neo is one multi-moon richer, I guess? I don't really think power moons are a currency, but I don't know a better way to put it.
maybe in New York City they are generating energy with them. Maybe it's like oil or something. It's it's not the currency, but it's so
It is fuel, technically, yeah. We saw that in Metro.
Yes, it's at the worth. So because I think a moon is much more worth. Yes, it's 100 coins.
100 coins is
Yes.
a good deal, apparently.
Yes.
Or every single shopkeeper in the entirety of the Mario Odyssey world is just a con artist after your money. But no. It's
Where the
Mario.
shopkeeper had the moons. Did they all collect them or every shopkeeper collects all of the moons?
Yeah.
Next Odyssey DC you can have the crazy cap story. You can play as a crazy cap guy and collect the moons for the shop.
Merchant Simulator. Zinpars is doing really good, actually ending the Bound Bowl with a sub 53-second time.
That's pretty good, man.
That is really good, and I think that like saves 3 seconds over Neo on actually just Bound Bowl alone. That is like Bound Bowl is something you don't think about, but it can be the difference between like just saving a small amount of time and golding a snow if you don't practice it.
But 3 seconds are in darker side. Yes, that's...
Oh yeah, still has a lot more to get to catch back up to Neo, but it's a good start at least.
Yes, in darker side you have... It's... if the first Wizard of Snow Kingdom, you can be more than 5 minutes behind and can easily turn around it. Okay, 5 minutes. Yes, that's the amount, but it's a lot. But it is possible. Do you know what's the closest dark side finish?
Don't think so.
I think
There you go.
something that I remember, something I don't know if I'm right, but something like 11 seconds or something. No, that can't be. 11 seconds is also for any percent. Not every time.
Alright. Neo getting the second Fountain Moon now. You can set up a strat there with that Gushin to not have to go through an underwater tunnel to get all the way over there. This is so much better because you do not want to go in that tunnel.
And then in darker side we are doing the boss fight here.
Yeah.
All the fights, but so these all. So, but you do this. It's very fast. So, yeah, it's a pretty good thing that you can. In the first, you only collect the moons you need for it. A bit more different from kingdom to kingdom, but you can make everything so that if you're returning to the kingdom, you can easily collect the moons, and that's what darker side is good. So.
And Neo doing more setups with the Gushin to make sure the Gushin is still there. Because we want to use it again soon. You still need to hit the button.
And there, oh no, I thought that there would activate the buttons at the same time.
Yeah, Zinpars is going for their second button right now at the top of the house. There we go. Just like that. Also grabbing the checkpoint to work to later.
Yep. To capture the bird. And then...
Also, using moons in the right places to refill the Gushin's water supply.
Yeah. Now it's collecting his last moon. Or last story moon.
About to start the fight now.
First have to push the button and then he starts. Yes, one of the special things at this boss fight is that the boss fight is really in the map.
Yeah, you go about the entirety of Seaside here.
Yes, it's the only that it's not only the only boss fight. I think that's in the entire kingdom. It's the only one that's not in a circle or something like that. It's not in an arena. It's in the world, and so every other fight is in a arena.
Yeah, it's pretty unique.
Yes, everything is in a circle.
Of course, Neo knows exactly when he can hit the boss, so he just has to actually get the hits.
And I'm sure this is not notes.
Ooh, missing the ground pound there.
Oh. Okay.
You really don't want to miss that ground pound because then you have to recapture a... There we go. But you have to recapture a Gushin. But just ground pounding him on that last hit is faster. Because once you get the last hit, you won't need a Gushin again. So you don't need to worry about getting a new one.
Yep. So, and now Zinpars is going to the boss fight. I think.
Yeah, Zinpars just needs to hit the button. And then...
Could it be that he saved a pair of seconds in the seaside and snow part? Yeah, snow part we talked about the 3 seconds in the one, but also he is only second try in the clip. So
yeah, I feel like overall Neo's kind of snow seaside segment has been better than what we've seen from Zinpars. We've just seen some better small things and movement from Neo over Zinpars. Zinpars is doing good at the start of the boss fight, though. So we'll see how he plays it.
All it's he makes mistakes, but not so much, and the small things he does perfectly in this one. Oh,
Yeah.
not only this one. There are sometimes mistakes, but he's not failing on the really easy things.
Zinpars, though, also missing the hit on the third phase of the boss. Needs to try and get it again.
And so both failed there, and now
was not being made easy, but he still gets the hit. Dying there is really bad, because if you die, you have to start the boss fight over, and that's just a fight that you don't want to have to start over.
Yeah, I think you don't want to fight any boss fight again, but I don't know what's the longest boss fight in the game to complete.
I don't know about the longest, but it definitely is not a short one in Seaside.
No. Is there anyone who could be long? The dragon is surely faster. Then there is the Boodles are fast. Bowser is fast too. This thing in Wooded is fast. Maybe the bird in luncheon?
Yeah, maybe. Cockatiel is not a very nice fight.
Be longer, but yeah, all the machine in Wooded. But
Torch Drift is not that long of a fight. At least definitely I feel not longer than the Seaside boss.
yeah, because Bowser is so fast, the dragon is fast. The pyramid thing, ice thing, and
Yep,
sand
and
is
sand.
is fast.
I think one of the things about the boss back in Seaside, though, is that the way to speed that up is very unconventional. Like, you see, here with Spewer, it's very kind of simple what we're doing to make the fight go faster, but, like, going back to the Seaside that we just did before luncheon, it's such just, like, an interesting kingdom and how that boss fight worked.
Yeah, and it's cool that at the rematch at Mushroom Death, you're still playing in the map. You're playing at the sky, I think, or something like that. In the rematch. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. Yeah. Then in the rematch, it's raining, so you have full time. Yeah, we're going back to the players, and I think that now Neo is going to. Yes.
Neo's getting the first of the multi-moons in luncheon. This is, I think, the easiest multi-moon in the game. Oh yeah, definitely. That one is like
Yeah.
kind of weird as to why it's a multi-moon, but I mean, hey, I'll take 3 moons over 1. So
okay, it's not the easiest. It's the easiest one if you only count the mini jumping one in the pot there, but yes, you have to come to there and climb to the stake.
yeah.
I think that it's a bit easier to go to the first boss fight in Cascade. And the boss fight is so hard in Cascade, we all know that.
Yep. But Neo, doing an interesting route to get over to the second half of the kingdom story-wise, to check that hint art that was over there.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna want that for later. Easy post-game mode. Again, I feel like we've gone on enough about easy post-game moves.
Yeah, and I think that Neo he wants to make the post-game as easy as he could.
Yeah, that's the thing about the darker side route, is making the post-game just as easy and quick as possible, because you'd already want to be there a lot compared to, like, not post-game, so if you can make it easier and quicker on yourself, then that's just the best.
Yes. Now he's getting to one of the captures in the game that is weird, and it's the capture that is not often used, I think. Is it there? Yeah, it's there.
Smacking the fireball with the cap. Oh, I just noticed that Zinpars took a death trying to get this moon over here. This moon's scary, because if you bonk like that, you basically have to do exactly what Zinpars just did to even have a chance to not die immediately.
Neo finished the part. Now he changed his fighter.
Yep. You get to be Podoboo, and now we're on to Cookdeal. Cockatiel has kind of very weird hitboxes, so at some points in this fight you can kind of just get hit for no reason.
Yes, its hitbox is pretty random.
Yeah. It's just not consistent to the actual model of Cockatiel in like what actually counts as a weak point.
And now it's... Oh!
Yeah, but that's good
Oh,
for
what?
me, you know.
Oh! What is Zinpars doing there?
Zinpars bonking a lot here, trying to get up to the hint art.
Yeah. Oh! What is he doing there?
Oh my goodness. Yeah. What is happening? Jeez.
But also Zinpars is collecting the hint art. And failing it. This is what I mean with as I said, that Neo he does mistakes, but the small things Neo does perfectly at the most of the time. He don't lose his time at the easy things, and yeah, Zinpars is we see it. We saw it.
Neo's nailing a lot of things today.
Yes.
But Zinpars is getting some things still. Is still doing pretty good, but has some problems with things that Neo is flying, which is where Neo's lead really comes from. Is just being at the smaller things.
Yes, it's Neo made a big step in the last month. Lol. They are both skipping the cutscene in this. A minute and now. So and yeah, Zinpars is trying to get the moon out of the way again. Don't want to capture the new Smash Fighter. While Neo is already fighting or
Fighting the dragon.
okay, the fight didn't really begin yet, but now. So officially. And Zinpars loses a lot of time because Neo's dragon fight starts 10 seconds or 5 seconds before Zinpars starts the luncheon fight, so...
Yeah. Neo's lead is really strong for only an hour in.
Yeah. But, as we say, it's dark side, so everything can change.
Alright, going for the last hit on Cockatiel. If you can't tell from the way these platforms are laid out, this hit is very hard to do.
Yeah.
There we go.
And he was doing perfectly and defeated the dragon. Zinpars defeated Bird. And now Neo is going to Bowser. So, yeah. Zinpars is going to fight the dragon, and Neo is going to fight Bowser. No, okay, not fight Bowser.
No. But headed to Bowser's Kingdom.
Yes. If Neo is against to fight Bowser, and Zinpars is against to fight the dragon, then they can quit the match. Then it's over.
Maybe.
This would be terrible because the fight against Bowser is not on the end of the Bowser Kingdom. It's not. It's on the end of the Moon Kingdom. So
Yeah, we still got a little bit ways to go before we even fight Bowser at all.
yes, pretty long.
I mean, we've already fought him in Cloud, but that fight, different story.
Yes. If Neo has to fight the Bowser in Cloud and Zinpars the dragon, then also the game's over, I think. But on the other side.
Yeah, well, in terms of any percent, it'd be over at this point, but Darker Side does not end where any percent does, so...
Yes. Yeah, but Neo isn't in Cloud and also isn't fighting Bowser yet, so...
Alright, Zinpars... Okay, never mind. I thought Zinpars was about to get the last hit of the dragon, but that's only hit 2.
Yes. And it's nice to see that they have both different strategies. While Neo is climbing at the wall and jumping to the dragon, he is doing it with a triple jump. What? And yes, what? He only hit the dragon one time?
Alright. Neo. Zinpars is about to enter the kingdom. Neo is close to a big decision.
Yes. Now, if it's so big, I don't know, but
Not that big.
so is that already is this quarterfinal? Do you know it?
This is a loser's bracket quarterfinals, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, Neo. At the double brutal here, starting with Topper. Alright, and there we go. I'm getting another capture, I heard that.
Yeah, so this is where you see how long Bowser's kingdom is. But yeah, it's logical because Bowser's kingdom is the only kingdom in the game that's linear. So you really have to do the things.
I'm like, sorry, I'm not as active as I was earlier in the commentary. I feel like I'm ready to pass out on my desk soon. The mech, though, Neo had a good start to it. I hear mech strats all the time, so that I can never pinpoint, you know, which one is which. But so far, Neo's been doing pretty good. Once these legs go invincibility star and dash all over the place, you do have to wait out the entirety of the cycle before any of the brutals can be hit again. So it's just a little bit of waiting time. And...
So...
that was... I think the fight you want to see. Zinpars in the last stretch here before the Mecha Brutal fight.
It's going straight to the moon. But first there are a triple moon, so...
Okay, we do have an Odyssey-themed FFZ emote in this channel. I wasn't sure. But yeah, that, Neo giving us some rotations. Gonna be boosting his number up to 146. Almost at, 30% of the moons that we need.
So I'm so tired. That's not because of the game, because the match is nice. Neo is running perfectly, I think. Okay, not even perfectly, but nearly. I don't know if anyone knows in the chat how much Neo is in front, or how big is it?
No, I've not been tracking timers to know who's where. But Neo is playing pretty well. Having a little bit of problems grabbing that moon, though. A big thing right now is we see Zinpars not having the greatest mech fight in the world.
Oh.
And that is big, because the mech fight can cost a lot of time.
Yes.
Finally at the halfway point of the fight now. And is back on top of the mech, so hopefully we can see a good closer here from Zinpars.
What is he doing? Oh, this was close. So, and Neo switch to skip and straight ahead to both.
Yep, Neo just doing some top of the church stuff now.
Yes. Top of church. It's so amazing. The moon physics are so different physics. You can make other jumps and something like that. And your triple jumps are so high in the moon. Or at the moon. Yeah, and now Neo is entering the battle fight, and Zinpars is entering the moon.
Yeah, Zinpars done with the mech fight. Just gonna grab that one moon behind the Odyssey, and then we'll be entering Moon Kingdom.
Oh, Neo failed. Just collecting the hat. And now Zinpars is increasing his counter rate. And now he's at the moon. With one of them for 16 minutes now. At the moon and going straight to to reach Neo, because Neo is far away. You can look, okay. The cutscene with Bowser was at we collect. Okay, he captured Bowser. Started at, yes, say one. I don't know what it was. Say 126. He started Bowser, I think. Yes, it could be so. We can how much he's behind. Not exactly. No, but touching the wall, and Zinpars is climbing the top. Best music in the game. No, okay. With a new version is the best.
Let's see, that was pretty alright pillars from Neo.
Yeah. That's one of the things where I ask myself though, because even if in one of the best ones, maybe I think so, in the world record, they are not all hitting everything down, so I ask myself every time, how could this be so hard? But if you try it by yourself, you realize that it's hard, but that even the best people are not get it every time to hit this pillar there. It's hard.
Yeah, one thing with the pillars is that sometimes the fireballs just don't go where you want them. They'll just go, you know, their own places.
And now he's at the credits.
Yeah, so now Neo's going to be entering the post game where moons are going to be collected at just a way faster.
So 128 world record. Any person is like 1.5 or something. 1.3. So Neo is so much behind the world record, so Neo has to be very bad.
Of course.
But yeah, he collected all the darker side moons and make the things.
Did a lot of extra stuff compared to any percent.
You can't compare them, but
has 6 moons on person right now, so at the total of 152, that is 28 moons more than you get in the normal any percent run.
Yes. And he's going to plant a seed. First time.
Yeah.
First thing you have to do. Plant the seed.
Planting the seeds is always good.
And now we are looking at the end. It looks like that Zinpars is exactly 4 minutes behind. Yes, exactly. I think
Exactly.
on the second. Yes, I think on the second, exactly. 4 minutes behind Neo. No, not exactly, but plus maybe 5 seconds. Maybe 4 minutes and 5 seconds or so. I think 4 seconds. 4 seconds, but 4 minutes. 4 seconds. That would be good for Zinpars.
Yeah, that's definitely a good point, Schultzar. We want to make the joke about, oh, you know, we're behind any percent when we enter post-game. We really could just compare this category's any percent portion more to World Peace than anything.
Yes. At World Peace. What's the World Peace world record?
I want to say it's a 115 or something.
Yes.
But even still, the routes are different.
Yes, the routes are too different because there you don't do any stuff like preparing for post-game.
Yeah, they don't have any post-game preparations, so they don't have to get extra moons. They can still do the 24. Yeah.
And they have to do pretty everything on the World Peace instantly and don't have to wait or something.
But it looks like current version, which these two are playing on current version, I believe, because 1.2 is good for this category, is 117.31. So like for darker side any percent portion, Neo's doing really good, and even Zinpars isn't doing that bad. Zinpars is just about to finish the any percent portion of the run.
And yeah, Neo finished with 1:28 and he finished with 1:32. It's like 4 minutes. So, how many? I thought Zinpars is more than 4 minutes behind.
Might have made up some time in Moon. I'm not quite sure, but it was a pretty good Moon.
Yes, but I don't see any mistakes from Neo too, so...
That is also true. Neo's doing very well.
Yeah, so... Neo has to fail big to give it... If Neo can stay cool and manages to the end, so then Zinpars has no chance. Maybe everything comes different and Neo controllers fall down, his dogs comes and eat his controllers, I don't know.
If his controllers got eaten, that would be no goodie.
I don't know. Do you know if they are playing with Pro Controller or Joy-Con?
You can usually tell based on like the little flavor text when they're in a capture. So I see if Neo could stop like doing things and give us a screen here. Neo has a little Pro Controller icon when the game's talking about motion controls. So
Neo is Pro Controller?
Neo is using Pro Controller, yeah. And then we'll have to see a capture then or some sort of control screen, which I don't know if we'll see at this point in the game. Zinpars is playing with Joy-Cons, actually. He just went into first person to get that Moon.
Do you think they are playing with this assist thing to I don't know, to that the Joy-Cons don't fall out of the hand. So because I don't know if it's be helpful.
Because of how much the motion controls are useful in this game, the Joy-Con grip, usually people won't use that.
The Joy-Con grip?
Yeah, that's like the little thingy that you can put the Joy-Cons into.
Do you think Zinpars is using? No.
No, Zinpars is not using that, most likely.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mean the grip, I mean the black thing you can... To make the Joy-Con bigger. I don't know what's the name for that. It's only the one thing you can take on the Joy-Con and then the Joy-Con is, I don't know, 2 centimeters bigger. And you have bigger buttons. If you play play mode with one Joy-Con. I don't know if you know what I mean.
I'm not quite sure I do. But yeah, with each barrier moon in this portion of the game getting one extra I'm trying to remember the word. One extra moon in them thanks to the moon rock. Some of them are just way better to go in the post game.
So I think, oh, is the name Joy-Con Strike? No, I don't know. Oh yeah, that's the promotion games that you don't lose your Joy-Con if you throw it away.
Oh, like a wrist strap thingy. I'm finally picking up on that.
There's this black thing you can...
Yeah, I know what you're talking about now. I don't know if that's being used.
Yes, I don't know. Because my answer is if he's using the stripe to that he don't lose his Joy-Con, because then its stalk is coming and eating it. And Neo is getting the next moon. And we're going to halftime, I think. No, we already have half. No, we have. So
I just realized my mic was still muted there.
nice. Yeah.
But yeah, that little thingy that Neo did, jumping out of the Taifu next to that wall to get into the painting, not using the intended method because the intended method is kind of slow. So there's a lot of painting travels in this route because it's kind of just better to do that instead of having to watch the moons go into the Odyssey every time you want to go to the New Kingdom.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a big part of what determines the route of what we're doing.
Yes, sure. It's one of the main things in Dark Side that you have to use as much paintings as you can, because it's so much faster than putting moons in Odyssey. And yeah, if you have many moons and put it in Odyssey, it's collecting so, but the traveling screen and everything like that, man, the hints from Cappy you get, and it's so much longer than a painting.
Mm-hmm. But of course we will have to use it at some point, so we'll see the well-known moon dump, in which we just pour all of our moons into the Odyssey.
Oh!
Oh, wow. Okay, Neo. Taking a fall there.
I have to do the whole sub-boom again. That's 10 or 15 seconds.
Yeah, that's not a good thing to see happen. Subrooms can happen. They're kind of brutal.
Yes, but there are sub-booms that are more hard to fail. If you fail there, you have to do more.
Getting through it that time, though. Zinpars gonna be cleaning up down here. One thing I never mentioned, actually, but you might have noticed if you know a bit about the game. If you break the moon rock without fighting the second Rango fight, which we can... Despite you usually having to full clear a kingdom in order to break the moon rock, we can skip that with the snow cliff. Whenever you go back into that room, Rango's gone and the moon is just there for free. So it's much easier than doing the fight itself.
But but maybe it would be nice if, or it wouldn't be, but if the moons are lost and you can't beat 100% if you do so.
That would be kind of brutal.
Yes.
No pun intended.
You like have on your first playthrough you did it. Yeah, okay, I don't know why. Yeah, that's dumb because nobody does the clip at his first playthrough. Never. And now the part is going to kick. Oh, and he failed again. What is Neo doing there? Another fail, and another 5, 6, 7, maybe 10 seconds. Yeah, 10. This is up to 10 seconds for Zinpars. And now the moonwalk. And yeah, Zinpars is looking one moon after another, Neo to the end. But Neo is so much music from. And Neo has 12 moons or so more. That's incredible. No, yeah. And now there's the fading room of Neo. And Zinpars is doing it well. Right. At this point. And now he's collected the taxi man and now wait the time to go back. Going to the shop, buying some moon.
Yeah, that's something we should mention. In this game, once you like finish up a kingdom and get its moon rock and stuff like that, you can buy as many moons as you want from the shop. You might know that, despite there usually only being 880, you can get all the way up to 999. In this category, you're not allowed to buy duplicate moons, meaning you're allowed to buy the original moon from each shop, but after that, you're not allowed to buy more than one moon from a single shop.
Is there a category where you're allowed like a coin category where you're allowed to use this strategy? So it's like a own category.
Straight up, the only category that might allow this, actually 100%, which requires you to buy 999.
Yes, but I mean a category that's only about hunting coins and
spending them all on moons.
yeah.
I feel like that might have been routed at some point, but I don't know how many people do it because there's just not too much entertaining about that, you know?
You're doing you're doing the Sabu and Bowser, or you're playing Luigi. I think Luigi is much. If you want to farm coins in this game, you play with Luigi. But I don't know if Luigi would allowed in the kind of this category going, because Luigi would bring randomness in this because it's random which moves he.
There's a few problems as well that keeps Luigi from being like allowed for coin grinds.
Yes. So, and then you have to, if you spend, you only have to find coin come in the sub room, or should I say up room? It's in the air in Bowser, the coin room there, and do
Yeah.
it one time over another and over another. And if your coin count is 9,990, then you go to the shop and buying the thing, yeah. The moon. So for that you can get 100 moons, I think, yeah. 100 moons.
When you need to buy moons to get from 880 to 999, that is 119 total, so a bit extra there.
Yeah, you have to do this, I don't know, 60, 80, 90 times. If you only have to buy it. Oh. Can't collect the moon. But it would be interesting, a challenge like where you had to collect as much moons as you can in while the normal places. So, no. And by the way, we are over the halftime.
Yeah, we're at the point where if a category run takes about 3.5 hours, half of that is 145. So I wonder if that's on the runners' minds. Like, hey, I can do this half again, surely. And I mean, these two got this far into the tournament, so I don't think getting exhausted due to playing for too long is at the top of their worries.
Yes. See. Yeah, I don't think so. Maybe. It's a long time you have to spend for that, but yeah. So much time.
Alright, yep. Zinpars now going to be joining Neo and Bowser's as the next warp painting path kingdom.
So it's time for Neo to leave Bowser. No.
We'll see what happens. Bowser's is an interesting kingdom, because you mentioned earlier that it's very linear, but now we kind of need to go all around it, so it's interesting to see the technique in which that happens.
I'm not sure, but yeah, I am sure that Bowser's definitely the kingdom with the most teleporting flags. Yes, I'm pretty sure, because on every single island there is one or maybe two. Or there's one island with three, I think. So
What's on Dale's ass?
do you know what happens if someone forgot that he already bought a moon at the shop in a normal storyline and buy 2 moons at one shot? And then he's disqualified for, I don't know, 5 years from all tournaments now.
And we're already out of Bowser's once again. We have Neo heading to Seaside as the next kingdom.
Yep. So, hitting the moon rock and... Yep. Collecting the plant seed, but he only plants one. Because the other three die during too long. Yeah. The painting for that way.
All right. Zinpars is gonna go buy that moon now. Alright, and Zinpars. Finally about to join Neo in Seaside 2 Neo, working on the 8-bit maze right now. This is another thing where you just want to do it now because there's extra moon once you hit the moon rock, so it's easier to route that in while doing this for the first time. Nice moon sync there. But yeah, like you're noticing now, Neo finally going through any percent portions of the kingdom. Getting moons like the glass tunnel and the shortcut. Again, it's really interesting to see how this category is even routed out at all. And you can see not only is there a moon up in this little glass, but there's also a warp painting, so you know what might happen. Neo's about to leave the kingdom. There's also Peach here. And where will this send us? No other place than the suspense. I wonder if you can tell from that picture right there. We're headed to the Wooded Kingdom. So this is an interesting one because if you remember back way earlier into the race, these two, when given an option to do either Wooded or Lake Kingdom first, they chose Wooded. It was to do things with the warp painting route, especially because actually we don't even do the full clear of Wooded Kingdom story the first time we go there. So we're gonna start off by getting a moon, and then we're gonna go into a boss fight against Torque Drift. Once Neo opens this gate.
What? Oh. No. No way. Hello, are you there?
Yep, I'm right here.
Oh god, I really slept in while commentating.
That's happened to us sometimes. I actually had it happen quite a few times, so no need to worry. But yeah, Neo's into Torque Drift now.
So I'm not sure how long I will stay at you here, but I'm sure that I can't complete it today.
Don't worry about a thing. Neo. What some people like to do is they'll just sit on top of the blocks here to not have to deal with these lasers at all, but Neo's just actually running around half the time and doing just fine, so I guess it's whatever.
Doing so good. He did his mistakes too in I don't know what kingdom it was where he died 2 times. Was it? I think it was.
Alright, but Neo, yeah, now with... I think this actually gives us the World Peace Toadette achievement now.
Yes. So...
But now we're gonna have our actual wooded too. It's very bright wooded once you get World Peace.
Yes, it is. So, I think I have to leave because I will sleep at the time. So, I wish...
Thanks for coming along.
No problem. Good luck to commentate, and I wish good luck to the one-art that
Yep.
that they both a good one, and yes, also to the viewers. Have fun here. Watch it if you to the end, or go sleep, or do something else. Do what you want to, and yeah, have fun. See you later.
Alright. Well, Neo. That's gonna be good. Yeah, that's really good. That jump is one of the ones that looks scary, even if it's not that scary. Especially because if you miss it, the consequences of missing that are, like, huge. And hitting that shot, too, very nice. And Zinpars about to enter the Wooded Kingdom along with Neo. Neo doing a fairly tricky jump to make it over to Captain Toad. And hitting checkpoints just to warp to later. That's one of the parts of, like, setup. Also, that's a Toadette moon. At the end of the run, we're gonna take a few minutes to talk to Toadette and get a bunch of moons, and one of them is 40 checkpoints. So the runners need to make sure that they're getting those, not only to warp 2 to make things faster, but to get enough to get a moon for having 40, because they're not that slow to get. Usually they're right on your path. So I have to edit this, actually. There we go. Because, unfortunately, mobile left us, so I'm all alone again. But we have Zinpars heading into the fight with Torque Drift now. Neo doing some pretty funky looking jumps to get around the kingdom and also to get where places with moons are quickly. There are a lot of really weird kind of looking things you have to do to maneuver from moon to moon as fast as possible here. Who kind of fidgeting around a bit there, but making it to the end of the pipe without taking damage on the second half. So it doesn't have to watch like a moon health restore cutscene. Small time saves. Zinpar's done with the Torque Drift fight, gonna be able to start doing some of the more post-game moons that are in this level. Alright, and making it onto this moon all good. That's a moon that's very annoying to lose because it's kind of high up to the point where you have to do some really extra stuff in order to get it the normal way. So if you can get it like that, it's good. Doing also a good job hitting that moon right there. Cycles are fun. And there's a bird flying around. A lot of kingdoms actually have birds flying around once you hit the moon rock. And they're on cycles like that you need to make sure you know you can make. Yeah, so we have Neo in here, not only for the moon that you usually get in the ascent route, but the extra moon that the moon rock adds in. Zinpar is just now hitting this moon rock. And Neo immediately preparing for that roll. Actually gonna be going around the moon for now though, because what you can do is you can get this timer challenge. And then when you're ready to leave, yeah, you can just do this. And just jump over here. Here's the bird. I was thinking the bird was a different moon, but that's the bird. And Neo made the bird cycle even still, so good job there. Again, that's a really difficult cycle. Alright, Neo about to enter this sub-area. This sub-area is interesting, actually. Because it feels like it's a little bit long, but at the same time, you can basically get the second moon for free. Because you just need to, you know, break into that wall. Funny enough, there's actually... I don't know if it's in specifically this sub-room or an alternate version of the sub-room that appears later in the game. There's a moon clip you can do here to save a few seconds by going through a ceiling. And nobody knows how it works, really. But it's possible. Zinpars also not missing that nut. Very nice. See? Yeah, the motion controls are something that can get very tiring. So the 3.5 hours. Alright, so now what's gonna happen is... Neo's gonna be going for this timer challenge here. And then from this area, what's gonna happen is he's going to just backflip up here. And that's gonna be the end of Wooded 2. We're gonna be taking our butts over to the Sand Kingdom once again. I'm just gonna write that time down. It's been a while since I've tried and used the timers to track where Neo and Zinpars are in comparison to each other. So I'm gonna try and do that. Neo hitting the moon rock here, so that's gonna, like always, it's gonna open up just a ton of things in the kingdom. You can see the markers there. This bunny has a moon in it. Oh, Zinpars bonking and falling. Usually the deep woods, you want to go there, but it's routed in to be the first visit to Wooded that you like to get all the deep woods moons out of the way, so... Despite it sometimes being good, right now, Zinpars not really the time he wants to be in here. Finding the same exact beanstalk that he used back in the first Wooded. So Neo, unless he switches off of it, we're going to be listening to... Because Neo, when talking to this toad, is going to play a specific track to get a moon, and now that track is just going to keep playing until he leaves the kingdom. Zinpars talking to Peach. And then here's the seed we planted earlier. So yeah, because of how long it's been since we planted that, it's fully grown by now. It doesn't take more than 20 minutes, really, to grow those. And it's been like 2 hours since we planted that. So if it hadn't grown by then, I would have been actually kind of surprised. Zinpar's heading into the red maze. Neo's just kind of playing around the village here. Now using these electric wires, once you have World Peace, or rather just Kingdom Peace for sand, navigating around the kingdom can become a lot easier, not only due to the checkpoints, but due to the electric wires that are just about everywhere. We're be bringing over here the Goomba. Get Goombet. Zinpar's never even hit that 5th moon shard there, so has to go get it now. There we go. Making the bird cycle, at least. Both of them made that bird cycle, which is pretty good. Because again, that one can easily miss if you have like a screw up. I believe Neo's moon counter might now be at the ... point. I can't really tell, it's kind of a low quality image on the restream I'm looking at. That's just what happens sometimes when you need low latency. It is. So at this point, Neo's moons are still counting up, but he hasn't put them back into the Odyssey in so long that the game's not going to keep counting them. It's just going to put dots there and secretly keep track. Of course, since these two know the route and have it memorized or have a notepad with it, they'll know how many moons they should have at a given point, as long as they don't, like, forget one. But the game's not counting for us anymore. But now Zinpars bonking, but going to be going this moon. Taking a different kind of route than Wooded, I've noticed. This is different than the route that Neo took, because Neo did these two moons that Zinpars is getting now. Like this one that he's just grabbing from this nut, and the one in the tunnel before that. Neo did that much earlier in the kingdom, but it looks like that he still has the same, like, moon number of stuff he's collecting. And now it's fishing time. Fishing is fantastic. There we go. Gets it, though. Dives over the moon. And Neo getting that nice fast music note moon. We'll see where Zinpars goes from here. Because again, what I mentioned with the route, you basically always want to warp out of there. If you have a place to warp, because it's just, you don't have to go through a loading zone. I think Zinpars is setting up to leave the kingdom soon. Yeah. Gonna do the same little ending section that Neo did. Grabbing this moon to a timer challenge. Yeah, so gonna be jumping up here, doing a triple jump dive to get up closer to the painting than Neo did. So saving a few seconds, but based on the timer I'm looking at right now, based on when Zinpars is going to collect this moon, Zinpars is just a bit over, just like 3 seconds. We'll just say 7 minutes. 7 minutes behind Neo. We're just looking for, you know, the last hour, kind of. Neo, if on good enough pace, should be finishing within an hour. Zinpars, obviously not with how much time left, or how much time in between the two, combined with how much time left for Zinpars. There we go. I don't know how Neo is doing on his splits, though, and for that matter, I don't even know how Zinpars is doing on his. So, I'll see if I can't sneak a peek. It looks like Neo is not streaming with splits, just has a solo timer in the game, so I'm not going to be getting that number. But Zinpars? Let's see about Zinpars. Zinpars is running with, like, hidden splits, and it looks like he doesn't have a comparison. So yeah, I can't see the splits of either of these two to know their paces. If you wanted to know that, I'm sorry. Alright. Going on top of the thing. For some reason, this just sends you on top. And although it doesn't make too much sense, you can do the timer challenge where you can spawn yourself inside the blocks just to roll through them instead of doing what the game wants you to do to get this moon. I always love bouncing on the scarecrow to get Cappy back a little earlier. It's always kind of watch yourself bonk onto an enemy in this game. And using an exit there to grab that moon. Neo rolling into the sheep. Neo's just having fun here. Meanwhile, Zinpars carefully guiding his bullet bill over to the cage here. Then he needs to break to get a moon and bonking, falling in the quicksand. But he's all good now. Missing that block, okay. Zinpars having a bit of problems with bullet bill movement right now. But gets it. So Zinpar's using a strat here of guiding over a bullet bill using Cappy, and then capturing it all the way over here, which helps you get to this moon. Neo abusing Glide On to skip a platform because we're in World Peace, so we have Glide On now. Trying to find one of the Moonrock moons on that pillar. There's just one on that pillar. And now is going to be getting a hint art moon. This island just has a ton of moons where you pound random spots and stuff comes out of it. It also has a timer challenge. Ooh, that should be good. Right? Okay, that was pretty scary looking, that situation. I'm gonna be honest. I was a little bit afraid, but I should obviously be trusting Neo. Even though Neo just totally died. It was an intentional death, though. Just to glide on back over here. Yeah, that was intentional. It took me a second to register that it was intentional. And I thought I just, like, commentator cursed, but no. Also, Zinpars has hit the point of ... moon counter. Meanwhile, Neo has been there for a while, is already going into Metro Kingdom painting to, you know, signal that he's done with sand too. So yeah, now Neo's in Metro, which, as you can imagine, it's kind of a moon-dense kingdom because of just, like, the size and the scope of the city. The moon raft just makes this a crazy kingdom, so lots of moon gettage is going to happen here. Starting off, one of the weirdest moons in the game to me. Zinpars fishing. Yeah, so Neo kind of doing a lot of stuff like Moonrock exclusive stuff and some previously set up stuff like the The seed is what I was thinking of. And now just going through some of the Moonrock moons and Peace moons that we didn't get because we left the kingdom only after Peace. Breaking that timer challenge. Metro is just so funny to me because of how much stuff you can do. Skip basically exactly like that way. Zinpars is in the 8-bit tower right now. We'll see how Neo does on slots. Nails it. Zinpars messing up a bullet bill jump up to the upper platforms early. Actually, not even trying the upper platforms, just trying like the hidden moon area. Gonna stop trying as he runs out of health here. Doesn't want to die. With a death maybe less intentional than Neo's earlier. Not dying is a good idea. He'll eventually get to the intentional death, though. Assuming he does that route. Setting up a Cappy warp. This one is seen at any percent. Just like that. But we know you do your orders a bit differently. Neo getting this bunny early is good, because if you manage to let it get away, it can jump over to other buildings, and then it just takes very long. Zinpars riding Jaxi around here. Kind of immediately tries to just 180 after jumping off the pyramid to get a moon back here. Actually, to get a few, because there's a hint dart for Wooded. Taking the time out of a timer challenge to just get another moon hidden right in this guy's head. And still managing to make the timer before it even flashes. Alright. Zinpar's about to enter this sub-area. So getting pretty far into sand. Neo warping to the town park. We're gonna see the dog. Heck yeah, dog time. Neo kind of knows where this moon is, so he can, you know, tell the dog where to go immediately, and while the dog is still trying to dig it up, he can go over and get that bird moon. Because the bird is on a pretty good cycle around there. Gonna enter this sub-area. Alright, good. Zinpar's also rolling into the sheep here. Just missing the ground pound, the first ground pound there. You need little tingles, and then gonna skip a loading zone by just warping out Just good routing there. Alright, let's go. If I recall correctly on this, what this category does, you might want to keep your eyes on the screen here. Close. Yeah, you get a moon for parking the scooter up here. Zinpars is gonna get this moon here. Neo sacrificing the scooter, but getting Captain Toad. Yeah, so yeah, there's Zinpars' damage boost. So Zinpars is almost done here. About to enter Metro with Neo. Nice shot. Neo hitting another bird right over there with the cycle lining up. And now going to be heading into the bullet building room. A room known for being very fast, but very difficult to do fast. You know, some stuff about the 90% route if you know about this room, and a little bit about the game. Neo doing a very good job of the room. But for explanation, that room's kind of like the centerpiece of a very difficult accent retro that saves a little bit of time over like what you usually see, but many people don't think it's worth going for. So now Neo is going to go into this warp painting and is going to be sent to the Lake Kingdom as our next kingdom. It's Lake Kingdom because, as stated earlier, we chose to go to Wooded before Lake back at the beginning of the game. We don't need to lake clip our way over to this moon this time, unlike, you know, some 90% runners might like to do. Alright. Let's see how this jump goes for Neo. Good. Alright. Alright, we're good. That room is really scary, actually. Alright. Alright, Zinpars has the Bird Moon. We're good here. Doing things in an interesting order here compared to how Neo did them. Didn't get the dog to dig the spot. There we go. Okay. It's interesting to see how long this run spends in Lake, considering how small the kingdom is. Because, like, some of the other kingdoms you're seeing are a lot bigger, so it's, like, there's a 7-minute difference, but they're, like, entering and exiting kingdom at the same time. But Lake is just such a tiny kingdom in comparison to some kingdoms like Wooden, or, Metro. But we've still been here a while. Neo taking a death in this room. This room is really hard. This is probably one of the biggest deaths for me, or one of the biggest causes of death for me, back during the bingo tournament, the triple bingo tournament that we held in spring of 2018. I don't know how many people remember that tournament, but that room caused a lot of problems for me then, and it still causes problems for top runners now. So apparently times have not changed. Alright, Neo. Finally going fishing. There we go, getting the big fish. Very nice. And Zinpars gonna be warping back to the top of the tower once again. just to get a few moons, you know, the other direction. Meanwhile, Neo is leaving Lake now and is going to be warping to Luncheon Kingdom via the painting. Finally can talk to the taxi guy again. And that's a good point, William, actually, now that you say it. It might take shorter to get moons, but that just means you want more. Commander Kingdom, like Luncheon. Luncheon is huge. Like, this place is ginormous. Now, what's interesting here is that here's a place where a little bit of a route shift can come up. Now, I'm going to be referencing something that happened the last time I commentated this game, which was a while ago. It was a raid I commentated with Odyssey back. This was still during 2018. Apparently the route is going to tell us to go to Luncheon more. Okay, you know what? I'm not going to speak on that now that I think about it, because I think the route might have changed a bit to the point where what I'm saying is no longer relevant. I was busy a lot throughout the beginning of 2019, and kind of not too much in the end of 2018, so I haven't been able to pay too close attention to some of the route updates that have happened recently, but we'll see. I'll just have to see you know, what moons Neo goes for here. Going back up to almost the Cookateel Arena. Actually just needs this moon on the side. And then is gonna go off. Zinpars in Lake now. Neo tilted that platform a bit. Doesn't take any damage. Very nicely done. Looking at that distance, it looks like a lava damage boost wouldn't be the worst idea there, but if you're trying to save that much time, that doesn't seem like the hardest thing in the world to set up, because you still need to wait for Cappy. So you might as well just try and make your life a little bit easier, and then you'll save the 2 seconds from not having to heal. So now we're finally getting our first moon dump. And if I recall correctly, Neo will be coming back to this kingdom later. This cutscene. Alright, here we go. 146 to 396. So there's 250... Oh, no, Zinpars. There's 250 extra moons into the Odyssey for Neo. Just needs now 104 more in order to unlock Darker Side. But yeah, some kingdoms don't really have the same warp painting availability as others. So you have to make revisits. Zinpar's dying again. One of them being Darker Side, or not Darker Side, Dark Side, the normal Dark Side. What happens when it comes to Dark Side is Zinpar's menus to the hella wrong kingdom. Okay. This is Neo, and we're talking about here. Zinpars is still in the poison sludge room, about to grab the key. Wanted to go to Cap, but went to Darker Side. Went to Dark Side. I don't usually think of Dark Side, so I keep saying Darker Side, which is the category name. But yeah, levels like Cap and I think Lost as well don't have warp paintings to them. So, you need to do a moon dump to get to these kingdoms. Which, you want to go to these, because these are kingdoms... Lost and Cap are both kingdoms similar to Lake that we just talked about a little bit ago, where you might want a good percentage of the moons there because the kingdom is small enough to where a lot of them can be fast to get. You can see Zinpars' Odyssey in the background. Alright. Zinpar is going to be getting the Captain Toad stuff down here. Neo buying the moon. It's actually been a while since we've seen somebody buying a moon, I believe. But it's good in this type of kingdom. Like here in Cascade, it's both pretty nice. Because you don't have to go through an extra loading zone to access the shop. Kind of a similar thing to, Wooded Kingdom. You don't need to go through a loading zone to go into a building to use the shop, so it's actually pretty good to buy a moon with your coins there. And now... Zinpar's saving another video, it looks like. These people have been saving a lot of videos. I wonder what they're curious about. Maybe I'm just not astute enough. Neo's gonna get Captain Toad. Neo taking an intentional death there just because of where that moon is. If you don't want to do the intentional death strat there to get that moon, you have to fly a Paragoomba all the way over there. And that's just not a good thing. That takes a very long time to do. So, you know, it's just preferred to do an intentional death there. Zinpar's about to finish up the kingdom, not doing fishing. Which is interesting, because Neo did do fishing. Moon is another kingdom. That hint art that Neo just looked at is going to be a moon in the Moon Kingdom. Moon Kingdom is another kingdom that doesn't have a warp portal to it, so we're going to need to fly the Odyssey there manually. That's not going to be immediately, though. We still have a ton more moons to get in Cap. Well, not a ton, because, you know, we only need so many, and a lot of them are going to be, we only need so many more, rather, and a lot of those are going to be towed out. We only need, actually, this moon is going to have BR90 to go for Neo. Zinpars still has to do luncheon before doing the moon dump and entering Cap, so Zinpar's kind of far away. But Neo's in there. Neo is in the 400s now, so Neo could be, you know, working on it, getting that Mushroom Kingdom hint art. In the case of stars, with a few exceptions, there are several kingdoms that use the generic, bright yellow moon color in this game. Every kingdom has its own special moon color that it uses to kind of distinguish itself. A star is the same thing as a moon, however, it's just a symbol that the moon comes from the Mushroom Kingdom, which is an area you can go to in the post-game once you've beaten the game. Neo, you should get 4 more moons. Yeah, but next Neo is going to be headed to Lost. Again, this is just a cleanup portion of kingdoms that you can't warp painting to, so we're going to use the Odyssey.
Oh, fan of theory, da.
So, yeah, let's see what Zinpars does in terms of getting to Captain Toad. Needs to turn around and actually get the moon first, but once we do that... I believe with the hitting of the moon rock, any and all Klepto triggers should disappear. So... Neo should be free to go just about anyway. And it's interesting at the start here, seeing that out of the 3 moons that we already have, I believe 2 of them, out of the 4 moons that we already have, 3 of them are any % route moons. So again, just drilling that point of how different these categories are, even though on the surface they already seem fairly different. Zinpars, moon dumping right now. Let's see. Let's see how the route works, because Zinpars... I think might be doing a little bit of a different route. 398, so yeah, has 2 more moons than Neo did exiting Luncheon. So I don't know what 2 moons he's gonna skip out on in this last portion of the game. But we'll just have to find out. Neo hitting that moon shard. This is a Snow Kingdom hint art. And then there also should be hint art somewhere else. Alright. Zinpars about to hit the moon rock to really open up Cap a bit. Alright, Neo's good. Neo is good. That's scary because you're intended to use the Tropical Wiggler there, which can stretch itself out in order to twist and get all those moons. Neo takes a death. But Neo didn't do it like that, so it actually makes the window for all those music notes fairly tight. Yeah, there we go. Doing the right strat to bait out the bunny. And activating both of the moons, but not hitting them. Oh boy. So what happened there? If you're wondering what Neo's thought process was. Usually what you want to do is have that block hit down. And then you'll get the 2 moons on the way back. But Neo's death caused the moons... or caused the blocks to be not in the position he set them up in earlier, because they reset on death, and that's why he just took the time to run a Grabby Beetle into a wall for no reason. Happens to the best of us. And now Neo's just gonna style on us by starting a timer challenge, and then getting a completely different moon in the middle of the timer challenge, and still, like, not even being close to running out the timer challenge timer. Are you sick of the word timer? Zinpars. Speaking of timer, though, we're about to hit 3 hours. Zinpars on the slide right now. Neo about to leave Lost Kingdom, and I believe go for Moon. Yup. Just at the 3 hour mark. So Neo should be under half an hour away from finishing. I'm not quite sure how close Zinpars is. I've not tracked time in a while, and it might be a pretty long time based on where Zinpars is in cap right now. But let's go to Moon. Neo. Alright, so there you go. That's that moon from that hint art earlier that I mentioned when I was talking about Moon Kingdom. Continuing the taxi quest as well. There's a lot to do at the beginning, just area of Moon Kingdom, and this is still only our second visit to the kingdom. So we hit the Moon Rock and a lot of things open up. However, we're still not spending long here. Alright, I'm so sorry about that, but you might notice what's going on right now is that we are in Luncheon 3. It's weird to see a revisit like this, however, we still have not fully finished the painting loop, because if you remember, the painting loop started at Mushroom and brought us to Snow, but we still haven't made it back to Mushroom. The painting to go back to Mushroom is actually in Luncheon. So, what the route does is it interrupts the painting loop right here. Or right at the end of Luncheon 2, and then comes back to Luncheon 3 in order to kind of be able to clearly interject the extra kingdoms, because you really don't want to skip out on Cat, Lost, and Moon. They're all good kingdoms to get quick moons in. Alright, Zinpar is entering Lost now. So, going through the last of the major kingdoms before going back into the painting loop. Because if you remember, Neo only Moon Kingdom for 5 moons. And Zinpars has one more moon than Neo entered Lost with, so Zinpars could cut just about anything out here. Okay, Neo. Just going through some of the quick any percent moons now that weren't in the route here. Actually getting this Peach Moon cutscene in between activating a moon and the cutscene starting, which is always kind of funny. Although you have a lot of time, actually, for golden turnips. Zinpars grabbing the Tropical Wiggler for this moon is interesting, because if you remember, we actually saw Neo skip out on it and do this one completely Mario. Zinpars jumping out near the end and spin throw, which is a good idea, but just kind of interesting thing. That we're just seeing small strat differences even this late into a run, where we don't even have like any specific goal other than just find fast moons and get them. Although this island that Neo's on is important, because if you just saw over there, we got a sneak peek that we are about to go back to Mushroom Kingdom and finish up the painting loop. Okay, that was interesting. Neo, I think I know what he's video saving there. Had a fruit get stuck on a crack there. But yeah, Mushroom is a good place to end up because we want to finish up the run by getting all the Toadette moons that we built up throughout the run. Toadette is a character that gives you specific moons based on you reaching certain milestones in things such as checkpoints, moon count, outfits, stuff like that. And we get a lot of them from Toadette, so we end up talking to her for a while just to get all the moons. And it happens right at the end of the run here. Zinpars back to Moon Kingdom, based on the timer, is about 8.5 minutes behind Neo right now. He's going to buy a moon. Alright, yeah. And the last bit of seed collecting here, we planted 3 of these the time we went to Mushroom. We can get these now. It's just 3 free moons, because we've had those planted for like over an point. We only need them planted for like 20 minutes. Zinpars is gonna be leaving Moon, gonna go to luncheon. Thank you in chat, by the way, for the reminder, as we have for over 3 hours, for the reminder to drink water. There we go. Neo making a tight jump there. You have to kind of spin jump on the edge of a slope there to carry momentum over to even do that. And that saves a lot of time over, like, draining the water and then building up a Goomba stack and transporting the Goomba stack to do what you're supposed to do. And now Neo's going to be talking to Toadette. So this is just a very long time of Toadette giving us a ton of moons for doing stuff throughout the run. And you're going to see saving a tiny bit of time by first-personing before talking. So Zinpars is our main event more than anything now for a little while. So he's going to be going up here. Luncheon 3. Again, I mentioned why it's interesting earlier, why we interrupt Luncheon of all kingdoms to do the painting loop. Actually, funnily enough, there is a route where you can do both Luncheon 2 and 3 in one visit, but I believe it's slower, so at this point in the tournament, losers quarters, we're not gonna see that most likely. Alright. Been talking for a little bit here. Zinpars playing the music to Toad now. And yeah, actually, while we're going through Toadette here, I should point out, for those coming here for the Link to the Past Super Metroid Randomizer combo, the SMZ3, in about 15 minutes, Zinpars will probably not be finishing within the next 15 minutes. The way this was booked, we had a time slot on this race from 4 to 8. But the next race was intended to start at 3:30, so a little bit of overlap here was expected. But don't worry, we will be giving you that to you immediately. We won't be doing interviews for Neo or Zinpars. I mean, if Neo wants to interview, Neo might have time, because Neo is currently, like, somewhere in the 8-minute range in terms of how far ahead he is to Zinpars. So, we might be able to have that, but definitely Zinpars we won't be having an interview with, because we'll need to... Yeah, we'll need to make sure that that other race gets started in time. And that is Neo finally done talking to Toadette. William, I honestly don't know. I don't understand the scheduling system that they put in place here, but they just decide to do this sometimes. So 500 moons, Neo did the route right. So Sagging Rufus, Neo is winning because Neo now has, as the name of the category implies, this category, our goal is to beat the darker side of the moon as fast as possible, hence why the category is named Darker Side. And with 500 moons in Odyssey, I was going to say in hand, but they're not exactly in hand. With 500 moons in Odyssey, Neo has now unlocked the darker side of the moon. So Neo is going to be finishing in about 5 minutes or so. And I think Zinpars is a pretty high up there, but still less than 10. A pretty high single-digit number of minutes behind Neo right now. We should be seeing 2 sub-330s, I think. Zinpars might be boarding it a little bit, but Neo is definitely much farther ahead. Because Zinpars has to do that whole, you know, talking to Toadette thing for, like, a ton of time that Neo just went through as you asked that question. So Darker Side is kind of like your challenge level of the game, you know, your Champions Road type thing. You get a ton of songs from throughout the game. You get a ton of mishmash challenges together to create the hardest level that you'll ever do in the game. So now I'm going to be bursting over here. I'll see what Neo wants to do. Neo is choosing to grab the uproot here. You can do this section uprootless, and I don't actually know if it saves any time or not. Neo is very good at this level, though, so I trust he knows what he's doing. You can skip part of this by just jumping like that on top of that item block. Skip's a really annoying, fuzzy underwater section. Now we have Yoshi! Yoshi appears in Mushroom Kingdom, actually, but you don't use him in the route, but you do have to use him to climb up this little area right here. You can grab coins. We don't need coins at this point in the route. But I mean, hey, if you want to grab them, no one's stopping you. Alright, Zin's cleaning up some of the Goomba Woods area stuff that's gonna lead into Peach's Castle, where we will do Toadette. Zinpar's making the jump there is good. The Goomba jump to get there. Neo taking some time to style on us, getting a good snap of glide on there. And why are you cameraing like this? I know Neo is just wagging on us right now, but like, why? I want to be able to see what's going on, because this is the most important part of the whole level. So here you're supposed to glide with Glide-On just over to that platform that you see on the right. However, what Neo's going to attempt to do is going to be skipping a large portion of the level by not only gliding past that and skipping past that pipe area that you might have seen on the right, but also there's a painting on the right that you might notice, and Neo is going to be navigating behind that. Now, there are actually triggers everywhere in this area. So when doing that, you have to dodge a lot of these invisible triggers, and if you hit any one of them, the game will force uncapture Glide-On, and you can't recapture him while falling. So you'll just be falling You'll just be falling to your death, basically, and have to do the whole level over. But Neo makes it. Thank you. Does U skip, which is a funny little skip we have there where you can jump across the U. Okay, so that is Neo finishing up. So with Neo finishing up, I'm getting news here while we're going through Toadette that the next race is one of those like big races with one of the tournaments where they actually use stream delay for some of the cheat prevention. Because, you know, randomizer cheat prevention is a very good thing to do. So because of that, we don't actually have time to see Zinpars go through the rest of the run, unfortunately. And I'm trying to see if we can't get Neo for a minute or two. Yeah, no, it's not loading, so I don't know if we're gonna be able to talk to Neo. But we're not going to be able to see Zinpars finish, unfortunately. There are both the runner links, though, if you want to not only follow both of them, but watch Zinpars finish up on his own channel. But yeah, we have to clear out, because for those that want it, coming up in 5 minutes, we're going to have the the Super Metroid A Link to the Past combo randomizer. So enjoy that one. I have to clear out now.